Yellowstone supervolcano warning. Swarm of earthquakes recorded after park anomaly. Scientists noted a swarm of over 40 quakes recorded in a short time period near the Yellowstone supervolcano after they detected an anomaly in the readings. Yellowstone, as we know, is one of a dozen supervolcanoes on the Earth. Actually, it's over 21, each at least 7 times more powerful than Mount Tambora, which produced the biggest recorded eruption in history. Supervolcanoes are volcanic explosivity index VEI of 8, the highest value on that index. In a monthly update, Mike Poland, the scientist geologist in charge of Yellowstone Volcano Observatory, noted the University of Utah seismographic stations, which is responsible for the operation and maintenance of the Yellowstone seismic network, located 105 earthquakes during the month of January. The largest was a magnitude of 2.5, located just south of the Mammoth Hot Springs in Yellowstone National Park. He said, in fact, this earthquake was part of a sequence of earthquakes, a small swarm of 42 events that occurred between January 5th and January 31st. Swarms like these are very common, and in fact, he says about 50% of all earthquakes occur as part of swarms in Yellowstone National Park. The rest of the earthquakes, he says, during the month were distributed throughout the region. In the past 2.1 million years, Yellowstone has erupted 3 times, the most recent having occurred about 640,000 years ago and was 1,000 times bigger than the devastating Mount St. Helens eruption of 1980. The main feature of a supervolcano is a large magma chamber, the underground reservoir filled with hot, flowing rock. I support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box. Yellowstone is said to be due to erupt based on the cycle of previous eruptions, though it's generally accepted that anything within the next 10,000 years is unlikely. Dr. Poland also added that the researchers recorded an anomaly, quote unquote, in their reading in December. He said there's a bit of an anomaly right here in mid-December, and that was caused by heavy snowfall that covered the antenna. Once the snow melted, you can see that we're back in the normal trend. Last December, Yellowstone volcano experts at the U.S. Geological Survey, USGS, have warned that the state of Idaho is extremely likely to experience multiple earthquakes and eruptions before Yellowstone does. And that's the area of Idaho around the lava field, the crater of the moon area, and that supposedly has devastating earthquakes and an eruption every 3,000 years, and we're just about at that point now. Now, seismic activity has risen in central Idaho in the past 20 months, prompting fears of something sinister brewing in the neighborhood of Yellowstone National Park to the west of the supervolcano. Professor Michael Rampino, geologist at New York University, considered how the deadliest part of the supervolcano eruption would be the gases that remain in the air rather than the ash that falls to the ground. He visited the old tombstone in New Hampshire that reports the events of 1816, a year that became known as the Year Without a Summer. Severe climate abnormalities caused average global temperatures to decrease by 0.4 degrees Celsius to 0.7 degrees Celsius. Evidence suggests that this was caused by the 1815 Mount Tambora eruption, the most powerful recorded eruption in history. Professor Rampino said this is a memorial to a farmer named Reuben Witten, who managed to save the town of New Hampshire by growing enough wheat on his land to feed the community. This is on Express UK by Anthony Ashkenaz. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support.